This episode is sponsored by Where to Shop and Dine. Download the app on Google Play Store or Apple App Store today. Connecting colleges and communities. Welcome back. You're watching Scene TV, and I'm Maya McNulty, your host, Schenectady Cable Entertainment News and Events. And today's a great show. What I want to say is welcome to Jonathan Mansberger. He's a good friend of mine. He does video production, and so this is right in his area of his sweet spot. And John, welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
it's
very
so
much.
great to connect with you again, and I want you to go ahead and share your story. I know that you were working with Time Warner Cable, now known as Spectrum, and about 5 years ago, you branched off into creative medium. So tell me, fast forward to your story for us.
All right, I'll try to give you the condensed version, but out of college, I had an English degree, and I knew I wanted to do something creative. I wasn't really sure what it was, so I moved out to LA to try to find my little niche. I ended up getting a job with CBS. I worked for The Young and the Restless, Price is Right, Bold and the Beautiful. But again, I was just kind of running around doing errands, getting coffee, and I still wasn't sure what I wanted to do creatively. So I was laid up for like a week. I had some sort of illness. I think it was the mumps or measles or something strange. And my roommate had a tape-to-tape VCR edit system. So I was kind of bored, and I started editing, and I immediately fell in love with editing. And from there, I used my writing skills, my editing skills, and I developed my shooting skills to create myself as a producer. So I moved back to New York, and I got a job as a studio cameraman for a small NBC affiliate, WKTV, in Utica, New York. And I started off as a cameraman, but on my free time and my downtime, I taught myself how to edit like tape to tape, like old school style. And I just put together like random things that, you know, that were kind of like engaging and dramatic. And I showed my boss, and he immediately created a position for me as a promotions producer. So from there I moved to Charlotte, and I started working for Time Warner Cable, and I was working for their 24-hour news channel down there. And eventually I was creating promotional spots, marketing material, sales videos. And so I moved up to Syracuse to be closer to family, got transferred to Albany, and then Albany ended up being like a hub for all the news stations. So I ended up creating promotions, advertising, marketing content, coming up with campaign slogans, coming up with full campaigns. And I was responsible for pretty much the whole upstate market, including Buffalo and Rochester, and obviously Albany, Hudson Valley. So it was a lot of responsibility, and I learned a lot. But around, 2-3 years ago, working in the cable environment, you couldn't notice or help notice that a lot of eyeballs were shifting online. So I started doing some research, and I'm like, wow, there could be an opportunity here to like provide marketing content for like local businesses that want to get their brand out there. And so I started digging into it, and I got the entrepreneurial bug. I got my MBA with the concentration in marketing, and me and my wife just decided to go for it.
That's fantastic. So your wife is your partner?
Yes.
All right, so Pam, tell us a little bit about Pam's role with Creative Medium.
So if you were to look at our office, my desk is really messy because I'm the creative type, and my wife is like the financial type. She has a background in accounting, so she takes care of all the financial stuff, and she's also out there selling and marketing for us. And so we kind of use our strengths together to really work as a team.
Yeah, that
and
sounds
I think
great.
that's really been helping not only the company but our marriage, because we're always working together and we support each other, and it's a great thing.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So let me ask you, you were goofing around with your roommate's DVD player, video player. VCR.
Showing
Okay, I'm dating. Okay, dating you here. Me too. So, and you were just kind of dubbing tapes back and forth, and this is how you found like, wow, this could be my entrepreneurial business ventures. You became really passionate about that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So speak on why video. That seems to be the major part of your business, video production, and we're going to have the opportunity to take a look at some of your work a little later in the show. But speak on the video part.
Well, it's a great question because, like I said, I had an English degree, so I followed literature and poetry, and it's all about story structure and how you tell a good story. But I felt like writing just didn't give me enough creative outlets. And once I discovered editing, it was like I can actually use moving imagery to tell a story, and to me that was amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you put music underneath it, and you have great camera angles and great lighting, and you put it together, it can be really an engaging piece. So as I worked for Time Warner, I started noticing, I'm not just creating things, I'm actually marketing things to people, and there's like that psychological element where you can just create something, set up lights, and make it look good, but you also have to have a message and a story to engage like a potential customer. And in our case, it was subscribers. So we were always thinking of new ways, creative ways to show, the company's story to get people to continue being a subscriber and to pick up new subscribers for the company.
That's great.
And
what are some video tips that you can share if someone, there's a lot of novice videographers out there. So like me, for example, I'll take my Droid. I know there's a lot of iPhone users out there, but it's so easy to take a video and upload it to Facebook or to YouTube, 1, 2, 3, and you're done. So what are some tips to get those viral feeds or those viral likes and shares?
Well, first of all, what drives me nuts, and it's actually becoming kind of the norm, is when people shoot with their camera vertically. Try to get in the habit of shooting horizontally, because that's actually the way video was intended. It was to be 16 by 9. When you shoot vertically, it's cutting off a lot of, like, if you want to have like a really nice background to help have a nice set, kind of like this, you don't want to slice off the sides immediately.
I've done that before, and I got so upset with myself because I can't go back and change it, but now I know to lay it horizontally. Yep. Good tip.
Try to incorporate some sort of, what we talk about talking heads. Try to incorporate some what we call B-roll. Like if you could say you wash cars, instead of just having a talking head the whole time, like try to have somebody shoot you, like if your company is washing cars, obviously washing cars, it helps tell the story instead of just having a talking head the whole time. And those are kind of basic things. Make sure you always have enough lighting, and always, if you had a choice between shooting darker or lighter, shoot darker, because it's easier to bring the light up than it is when something, what we call, is blown out, where everything is just really bright. It's harder to bring that down than it is to bring light up in
That's a great tip. I didn't know
programs.
Yeah. Good stuff. Stuff. I like it. So video production, making great videos. So it's the content. We're talking about emotions, people buying with emotions. I know that Apple does that really well, where people are buying with their emotions. You get this beautiful package when you open it. It's an experience.
Absolutely.
And so video should be that as well. Relatable. I love videos when there's pets in them. I have a dog and a cat myself, and children. So I think that those are really some really good videos. What type of videos do you normally shoot?
Well, we try to we obviously like to set up and make everything look nice, but we sit down with our clients and really ask what their target demographic is, and then we try to figure out what is it about their business that would connect with people. Like, for instance, we're just wrapping up a production with a lawyer, and he sells real estate. Or no, he doesn't sell real estate. He helps close real estate.
Right, real estate law.
So that's kind of dry, but you got to think a little bit, like, what's his target demographic? And it is actually millennials. So then you tie in, like me and you, we probably think millennials, God, what are they, just out of college? But no, actually they're like buying houses now. They're having children. They're going to start becoming the biggest buyers in the market soon, if not already. So I was thinking, when I created it, what would be the emotional pull? I mean, okay, he could talk about real estate closings. That's not really how you're going to pull. So I worked with the emotion of buying a new home, of starting a family.
Yeah, it's exciting, yeah.
So like I said about B-roll, as as the lawyer was talking, I showed footage of millennials, like even on their phones, having fun, and people like hugging, knowing that they just bought their new house, and then connecting that to the client's message of what they can do for them.
Right.
You're gonna, the client or the customer is gonna remember that much more and is more bound to purchase something or a service than just using photos and text on your website.
That's great value. That's great information. So I like it. When you're creating your videos, what platforms do you use? You probably use Spectrum, and do you use Facebook and YouTube? What do you use?
Well, that's the thing. Like, we create content, and then it's kind of up to the client to decide how they utilize it. They can use it in social media. They can use it on their website. We create like explainer videos, testimonial videos. But the great thing about content these days, especially online, is it's not quarantined to just 30 seconds, and it's going to run one time on ESPN, and hopefully you'll hit your target market. Nowadays, and this is a huge reason why I made the huge leap over to online, is when you place a video on Facebook or say Google, you can target your market like almost like a microscope, and you can get really close in, and you can find the right type of buyer, like what their sex is, family size, demographics, a lot better than you would normally with traditional advertising. So what I suggest and what we're plan on doing is we're going to start creating marketing content management also. So we can really create content, but really give our clients the best return on their investment by also offering management. Like, if you trust us to do your video, you can trust us to market it. And like, would this be, if you're targeting more baby boomers, probably Facebook would be better. If you're targeting millennials, maybe Snapchat, Instagram would be more of a better channel. But if you're trying to develop an audience on Facebook, go with Google AdWords for video. Google owns YouTube, so when somebody's typing in your product, say plumbers in Albany, Google already has that information on who is looking for what, when, and how. When you have your video up there, it's most likely you're gonna pop up on their search. Like if you did like the videos that pop up and you can either skip them or you can't skip them. That's totally a campaign run by Google AdWords for video. So it's like a whole new world where you can really
there's a lot out there.
There's
a lot out there, and there's a lot of money to be made too in making videos and putting up there. So I want to share with the audience a video that's on your website actually that they can go to www.kreativmedium.com. But let's take a look at the video that you've created recently.
Sure.
Let's take a look.
Okay.
She's the most driven child I've ever seen.
Just don't want to feel old. I want to feel that youth.
You fight for working people and working families everywhere. I see you take care of my mother when she's sick, my wife when she's sick.
She wants to be a writer. She wants to be a teacher. She wants to change the lives of children and use her creativity in the same time. And to see that for her has just warmed my heart more than words will ever be able to express.
Sisters and brothers,
Jonathan, that was a great video. I'm really hoping that the audience can really get a flair and a taste for what your level of expertise is. You also, in your marketing company, do headshots and photography and content writing. So let's speak on the photography work that you do.
Okay. Well, we do photography, we do headshots, we do real estate photography, and we also do photos of products. Like we work with Sweet and Squeezed. They're a kind of a fruit and smoothie drink company. They were at the Saratoga race course this past summer, and they wanted some photography to put on a video board, which is becoming more popular. I don't know if you go to McDonald's or like some popular coffee houses, but now they're starting to use video menu boards. So this is what this client wanted to do. And
that's
so
cutting edge. That's cool.
Yeah. And a millennial, he thought of it. He said, let's go with it. And so we created a bunch of product videos of his fruit slushies, and he put it on the video board right as people were walking down the escalator, and people are sweating and it's muggy out. And we also did created a video for that it showed them creating the fruit slushy mixed in with the photos, and people. He told me that his sales really jumped up right after he did that. So. But also photography for headshots and real estate. We were just featured a couple months ago in the Times-Union. We did a real estate showcase, and that was our photography. And again, with photography, we don't, we really try to do it high end. We try to go for that look that would, you'd be skimming through like Better Homes and Gardens, and you're like, wow. And like we try to really get the highest quality. We're not just trying to show up and get it done.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to look at your website, and it's very clean and clear and crisp, the photography work. I have my mobile app Where to Shop and Dine, and we photography a lot of food. Is that a word?
Photograph?
We photograph. Yes, we photograph a lot of food, and food is so difficult to take photos of. And I'll take hundreds to get one. And so just the clarity on the photos that you've done are brilliant.
Thank you.
So, but it's hard work, it really is. So don't let that be fooled, that it's very, very difficult to photograph food. So I want to speak on, let's jump back to video. And recently, about a month ago, there was a Pepsi video. And since we're talking about video, and they're a global company, Pepsi Global, and Kendall Jenner did a Pepsi commercial, which Pepsi Global actually pulled. Have you ever come across a situation where you have actually not intentionally, but have created a video that wasn't the outcome that a client had wanted?
Never. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that happens. I mean, that's why it's important to really sit down with your client and understand what exactly they're going for, and create something that they're going for, but also remember there's, always keep your viewer or intended customer in mind. Like, you might be huddling up and saying, this is a great idea, it's groundbreaking, people are going to be talking about it, but you always have to keep the viewer in mind. Like, what is their experience going to be? And that's kind of like the mindset when I create things. Like, it's not about what I think is going to be neat. I'm always thinking about, with the lawyer video, what would be intriguing to a millennial? And building that story for them. You know what I mean? You should always be thinking, you don't want to obviously offend a millennial by doing something that would be, it's like a fine line between risk and going viral, or really blowing it and then you're viral because you've done a really messed up thing. So it's a fine line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I actually, in my opinion, I'm thinking it's a good idea that Pepsi did pull that commercial in this age of terrorism and women issues and political issues. I think that was a really great company decision to have made. And Kendall Jenner, she's fine. But in my opinion, I feel like that's really good. What's your opinion on that?
On Kendall Jenner, or?
Well, pulling the Pepsi commercial.
Oh, yeah. Being accountable from the get-go, and apologizing right away. It's like when Pepsi did something like that, I think they lost a lot of people's trust. And with video, with advertising, with marketing, even person-to-person selling, you had to build and retain people's trust. And I think once they did that, I could just imagine a million hands just saying, no thanks, you know what I mean? And but for them to be accountable and apologize immediately, like they understand what they did. They're not going to try to sweep it under the rug and we'll just move forward and who cares about you. And I think they're trying to like say, hey, we messed up. And that's even...
They took great responsibility
it's
for that.
Great a great way to keep that trust. And, it's like, we're not going to be dogs here. We're going to step up and say, hey, we messed up. So,
Good. So I want to fast forward now because before we run out of time, I want to talk about your involvement with the Special Olympics this year. And you have volunteered to do the videos for the Special Olympics. Now, the Special Olympics hasn't happened in the Capital Region for the past 10 years, and Siena College won the bid June 16th, 17th, and 18th of 2017 and 2018. But we're hosting a fashion show for the Special Olympic athletes, and the athletes are actually models in the show, paired with some community leaders racing for the runway for the gold. Excited that you're going to be a part of this. Is this something new for you?
Yeah, actually it is. I mean, I've done a lot of like PSAs for Time Warner Cable, Spectrum when they were Time Warner Cable, and so it was a lot of giving back to the community that way. But to be able to give back to the community as our own entity, as our own company, as my wife and I, our team, it's just a great feeling. I mean, we're always out there spreading our name, and the community has been great in helping us out. We're just a new company, always giving us people out in the business world, giving us tips, always helping us, and it's just a great opportunity to give back to the community that's been helping us.
Yeah, so I want to thank you so much for stepping up to the plate and being that community leader. May 18th, from 6 to 9 at the Edison Club will be the Runway for the Gold fashion show. So if you're looking for tickets, we will have tickets at the door. They're $50 general admission and up for gold seating. So definitely come by and check out the work of Jonathan and all the athletes as well. So I want to thank you so much for being on Scene TV, Jonathan.
It's a pleasure.
It was a pleasure, and thank you for sharing your story. And we look forward to seeing more work from you and your videos.
Absolutely.
So thanks for being on Scene TV.
Thank you.